We'll have Coach make an open comment, then we'll have questions for Cade, then we'll let Cade head out, then we'll finish up with Coach.
Oh, man.
Hey, general comment, then we'll have questions for Cade.
Okay.
We'll let him go, we'll finish up with you.
All right.
Just, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, that was fun. What a amazing college football game. And, it's a shame somebody's got to lose a game like that. I mean, just an incredible performance by SMU. I told them at halftime, I said, guys, these guys, this game's a long way from being over. And they showed, who they were and how they fought back. We had some critical mistakes in the second half that didn't help us. But, at the end of the day, we found a way. And unbelievable return by Adam Randall. And then, great play. We didn't finish last week on the little drive, and great play by Antonio, and then an unbelievable kick by Hoosier. But just proud of our team, happy for our fans, and congratulations to SMU. And just, as I said on the field, just thankful that good Lord just blessed us with a moment like that. It's pretty special when you experience, something we just experienced on the field and in the locker room. It's amazing and special. So thankful, and look forward to going to our 7th playoff. So that's our 8th championship in 10 years and our 7th CFP, and and the highest graduation rate in the country to go along with it. So I'm really happy. I'm proud of our program consistency, who these guys are, how they believe in all things Clemson. And it's just awesome. Just awesome to be a part of it, and just to, be able to do life with these guys day in and day out. This old boy from Texas, I think, still undefeated in championship games against some Texas teams. So just a great moment. And again, SMU, I can't say enough good things about them. That's a playoff team. No way. There's no way they can't be in. They should not be punished for that moment right there. They should be in the playoff, and obviously we're going, and we look forward to having a pizza party tomorrow and figuring out where we're going to go. But I'm really happy for our players. They deserve it, and they earned it. Nobody gave them anything. They earned it.
Okay, questions, raise your hand. Let's get the handheld mic to you. And first question's for Cade.
Jeremy Granderson, ESPN Radio. Cade, Nolan hits that 56-yard field goal to win the game. You see your coach running around. What's your first emotion after that kick went in?
Yeah, we got him down there, and everybody's on the sideline, just watching. And I'm honestly, I'm sitting on the bench by myself. I'm just trying to visualize and see how overtime's going to go. Because, you're hoping that he makes it, but you don't want to put all your hope into it, So I'm over there, and I'm visualizing how I want overtime to go, and just thinking about visualizing it until the moment he kicks it. And at that point, I really just kind of put my head down, or maybe up, and just kind of listened to the crowd and heard the crowd roaring behind us, and I knew we made it, and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Coach Dabo Swinney, Doug Parrish.
For Cade.
Oh.
Yeah, just for Cade. Okay. Any question for Cade?
Cade, you talked about this the last 8 days. Really didn't look like you were gonna. Sorry, Steve Reed from the Associated Press. Didn't look like you guys were gonna even get here, and then to get here, win it the way you get it, and win it the way you did, and then possibly get a first round bye as well. What's this roller coaster of 8 days been?
Man, I think that I'll start with this. Part of the reason that I came to Clemson, the main reason I came to Clemson was because I love Coach Swinney. But most of that reason is because of his walk and his faith. And that's something that I lean on a lot, is my walk and my walk with Jesus. And through these times and through the hard times, I get to lean on Jesus because he's consistent, and he's the person that I put all my faith and trust in. And, I sat in my car for close to an hour in the parking lot last week after the game. Truthfully, just pretty much crying because, you work all year for something. Literally, you wake up every single morning and you chase something, and to be that close, and in the moment you're thinking something we chasing just got taken away from us. And then I finally decided to go home, and I didn't really want to see anybody. I get to my house, and my roommates are watching the game, and I go up in my room, and there's like 4 minutes left. Miami's about to go down a drive, and I get to my room, and I'm like, all right, I'll turn on the game. And I turn on the game, and there's 2 minutes left, and Syracuse wins. And I literally sprint downstairs, and I tackle Ronan Hannafin, my roommate, and I'm just screaming of joy. And I'm like, just when you think that God is closing the door, he's opening one up. And, we just had to trust in him, and I just trusted in Jesus that he was going to make a way through it all. And that's something the coach has been preaching to us. And that's something that I truly believe is, God's going to go and do things that we don't quite understand, but in the end, he's always going to get the glory, and it's always going to be for a purpose. So I really had to just lean on on my foundation. And then that's what I just kind of carried throughout the week. It was definitely a weird Sunday and Monday because you're grieving from Saturday loss, but you got to transition it and go be excited because I kind of said out there, it's like, you're playing outside with some of your friends, and your mom tells you got to come inside, and she decides, actually, I'll give you 5 more minutes. We got 5 more minutes to go play some football, and that was tonight, and it was really exciting.
Cade Klubnik, Rob Gilchrist, WCRS. Just big scores at big moments. The big pass to West Coast started off on that rollout. Then you add in the West Coast score on the deep pass to the right late in the first, the Burning School score late in the third. Just those key scores just kind of kept pulling the rope away from the SMU grasp, and y'all just kind of maintained. It looked like it was going to be a shade of last week with these kind of like 3-and-out and long drives, ending in punts, but y'all just found a way to win. Just describe the momentum and just the mindset as the drives just went on throughout the night.
Yeah, we get up whenever we were up in the fourth quarter. As an offense, we got to just keep doing what we're doing. We got to just go finish the game and put it away, truly put it away, and make it unreachable. Because that's what our job is. We'd been playing really well all night and been playing just really efficiently and doing our job. All 11 guys doing our job, and we just we got to go finish. We got to go just put the game away, go win the championship. And when it came down to the last drive, we went and did it, and it was definitely an exciting one.
Hey, Gabe, Chris Heidel from Purpose Radio in Baltimore. The first 2 series, you scored a quick touchdown. Have you ever had that in your game before, like after, first 2 and you get up 14-0? Have you ever had that start before?
Oh, yeah, we've had it a couple times this year. App State, we had that. NC State, we had that. I feel like we've had it one other time, but
Citadel.
Yeah, Citadel. We've had it definitely a couple times, and it's fun. We had great field position to start off. That's something that is also really big. Is we were in plus territory right out of the gate and had relatively short field to play with. So that was huge. Defense getting the stops, turnover. It was awesome. Yeah, just complimentary football.
Any other questions for Cade? Last question from Rev? Okay, 2 more, good. Left.
Steve Helwick, SB Nation. Cade, you guys had 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, just 1 in the last 3. What kind of adjustments do you see from SMU's defense, which made it harder to score later in the game?
I'll probably have a better answer after I really go back and watch it, because you're just kind of in the moment sometimes, and you're just kind of playing throughout the game. But that's a really good football team. Don't take that away from them. They're the number 8 team in the country, and they're 11-1 coming in this game. They're not just gonna. Coach Swinney's been saying they're not just gonna bow down to you. So got to give credit to them. They're a team that just fought to the very end, literally the very, very end. So really well-coached team. You can tell they made definitely some adjustments throughout the game, just kind of taking away some stuff. But definitely some stuff that I'll learn from and we'll all learn from, and that will continue to make us better throughout the year.
Last question from
Chapel Fowler with the State. Cade, on that very last completion to Antonio, just kind of take us through the play call, what you were looking for, and kind of how that specific play got executed to set up the field goal.
Yeah, we kind of knew. I mean, we had a timeout, so we knew that, they were going to be dropping out of there, and they're not going to let up a touchdown. So, just had to go get something, and Tone ran a great route and just kind of find them. And really, he once he caught the ball, you can't go. Coach was saying it right before, you can't go score a touchdown. You're going to run out of time. So get what you can, and then get down, and he'll call the timeout and give ourselves the best chance, and that's what we did. And Adam got us down there, and that kickoff team got us down there, and that was unbelievable. I mean, we're thinking we're about to get the ball. I mean, we're thinking we're about to get. I'm thinking we're about to get the ball on the 25 with 16 seconds left, and we get it on the 40, 45, or whatever. Where were we? Somewhere around there. 45 with 9 seconds left. So that was huge. I mean, that's just massive, and also just a burst of energy almost. Hey, it's right there. Let's go get it. And just had to go get it. And Tone made a good catch, got what he could after, and really strained to go get a few more yards, and then got down and called timeout and gave Nolan the best shot.
All right, Cade, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good job, bud.
Good job. Question for Coach. Start here, front row.
Congratulations, Coach, on another ACC championship. Doug Parrish with Football Organically. What do you think was the defining moment? And then the second question is, what do you contribute to your ability to continue to win at the highest level?
Well, I think the defining moment was probably winning the turnover margin. We had a couple big turnovers. That was a huge difference in the game for sure. Came down to a couple plays. So those two turnovers were big, gave us field position. We capitalized on them. I was thinking that missed field goal was going to haunt us. But it's kind of crazy how it ended that way. But, I mean, as far as just when I got this job, we were here in 2011 and won it for the first time in 20 years. And we hadn't won 10 games in 20 years. And, we just had our 10th win for the 13th time in 14 years and our 9th championship in the past 14 years and our 7th CFP. And, even with all that, people still want me to be like everybody else. And so I guess to answer your question is it's just following my purpose, not compromising on what I believe and just letting God lead my steps and order my steps. It's just really the bottom line, being purpose-driven as a man, being purpose-driven as a program. And, so I know everybody wants me to be like everybody else, but I don't know how to be like everybody else. We're a very unique and uncommon program. I think we've won more games than anybody other than Alabama the past 16 years. And we've certainly won more championships, I think, now in conference championships in the past 10 years than anybody. And second most CFPs. And not only have we gotten to these CFPs, we've won. We've won on the highest stage against the best of the best. And, we're at a point now where we don't win a championship, and it's, we got to fire everybody, and it's just, just this same old tired narratives that come up every single year when we lose a game. So, you can check our record versus the SEC. You can check it versus the Big Ten. You can check it versus Notre Dame, because that's really who runs college football. So I'm just really proud of our guys. And that's the only thing I can tell you is, again, being purpose-driven. And, it's just God's plan. I mean, I don't, and certainly not me. It's a bunch of great young men that come to Clemson and they buy in to who we are and what we do. It's not just winning, it's how you win. It's 2 years in a row we got the highest graduation rate in America. It's a program that we try to serve their heart and not their talent. And I'm just, we had this is our 14th year in a row with a postseason win. Nobody ever has done anything like that in college football. But all we hear is how bad we are and how terrible we are and how stupid I am and how, whatever. And it's just, we just keep winning. We just keep winning. And we're not perfect. I'm far from perfect. But we have great players who believe in who we are and what we do, and we have great coaches. And we're family. And so that's the best answer I can give you. And it's a blessing to be a part of it. I don't take that for granted. I told the team coming in, there's so many great coaches that never get a chance to coach in a game like this, prepare for a game like this, win a game like this, and there's very few players that get a chance to experience it. I played in the first championship game in '92, and played on the national championship team, and I've had an amazing career coaching and being a part of these things, but the credit goes to the good Lord and to a bunch of great young men that have just bought in and to our purpose and just staying focused on that purpose.
Coach Trevor Groves, CUTigers.com. It's also your 10th win, I think, 13th out of 14 years. I hate what happened to Jay Haynes, but it's crazy to think that Adam Randall doesn't have that opportunity. If that didn't happen, I mean, Adam didn't have a catch tonight, but made one of the biggest plays of the night. How great of a moment is that for Adam?
Oh man, it was unbelievable, and and just again who he is. I mean, tough situation, and that Wesco, and had kind of gotten the majority of those reps, and Adam's still showing up and preparing to be the guy every single day. He's one of the best leaders on this team. And, we were supposed to fair catch that ball. Unfortunately, that Jay came out. That was supposed to be a fair catch. And then we tried to fair catch the other one, and that was the Keystone cops out there. It was a mess. And so we got back-to-back, self-inflicted field position issues, and it really hurt us. So, just disappointed with that. But at the end of the game there, we were going to fair catch it. And I said, no, let's return this thing. I said, hey, anything can happen. Let's try to return it and bring it out, and let's just see if we can pop one. And we did, and so it was amazing. I think Keith Adams had a great block. I can't wait to watch that on tape. But, I mean, just an incredible run by Adam, and I'm really happy for him. I mean, just to set us up, and then you sit there and you go, okay, I think it was 9 seconds. Got a couple timeouts. Let's think about this thing. And then you're just, trying to coach everybody up here on the situation. We've got a couple. We practice that. We practice that in fall camp every single year. It's usually 10 seconds. That was 9. We usually practice 10 seconds with a timeout, 10 seconds, no timeout. And that exact situation. We script that and practice it, and we actually have a play that we want to run, but it's usually when you're a little closer already in field goal range. So we couldn't really run that play, but we anticipated them being soft coverage. So we just basically ran a, what we call packer, a little curl type of concept. And, it was a great quick throw. Antonio, hey, get it. It's 9 seconds. We got plenty of time, but you can't go score. All right, that's not going to happen. So don't think you're wide open and you're going to go score here. Get what you can. Let's get down. Let's get the timeout called. So, and then it was okay. Let's kick it. And Garrett was looking at me like, they were going to do a Hail Mary, and I said, no, we're going to kick it. And Coach Luke goes, you think he's got that kind of leg? And I went, we're about to find out. What a kick. I think it's the longest game-winning kick in Clemson history. So I've been a part of some big ones. Obviously, the Catanzaro kick against LSU with 2 seconds on the clock. And then this kick right here, I've been a part of some big ones, but that was huge. The protection, the snap, the hold, everything. And when he hit it, I went, oh man! We were talking about overtime. We're trying to get our overtime plan ready to go. What we were going to do there, but as soon as he hit it and it cleared the line, I went, this thing's got a chance. It just goes through, and I just so happy for Nolan. Right here, Charlotte kid, freshman, and those are the type of things that those are the type of wins that really propel you. I think over my career, I think about. So many moments like that. I mean, beating Notre Dame on a 2-point conversion, stopping them. Beating Lamar Jackson on the goal line one time. Beating them on a 4th down play. Punching a ball out at Texas A&M. 4th and 6 against Syracuse. I mean, I think about so many moments like that. And, obviously winning a national championship with 1 second on the clock. Those are the type of moments that when your kids experience that, man, it just propels you to bigger and greater things. And so you hate games like that. They age you. But when you win them, and we had a heartbreaker. I mean, we've experienced, I mean, you can't have 2 different emotions in 2 weeks from what we've experienced. But, the resiliency, the resolve, the lessons that you learn from all that is pretty special. It was an awesome moment.
Yeah, Will Beck is CBS Sports. You said that SMU is a college football playoff team. What have you seen from SMU this year, and what did you see from them tonight that has led you to believe that? Well
coached. They're very tough, hard to run the ball on. Probably the biggest defensive line we've probably seen. I mean, the guys are huge, really, really big up front, explosive on offense. And, that quarterback and that back, I mean, we saw that back at Miami last year. He went 80 on us. That's a very dynamic group and outstanding receivers. They've got some explosive playmakers that just challenge you in all phases. I mean, horizontally and vertically and what they can do. And then they got 2 rockets in the backfield. So they just put a lot of stress on you. They can score quick, as y'all saw. But we were fortunate to turn them over. That was the key. And we stopped them a few times. We got enough stops in the plus territory, especially in that first half. That was huge for us. So I'm just really proud of our team for that. But that's a good football team. That's a really, really good football team. And again, they got 1 loss to BYU, who's a really good team, and that was before they made the quarterback change. That's that kid's first loss, and it came on I don't even know, what was it, 56-8? What was it? 56-yard kick with no time on the clock. That's a team that's come from behind. They've won every kind of way, and that's what playoff teams do. So no way should they be punished. They were every bit of the 8th team in the country tonight, every bit of it. And we made a couple more plays than they did.
Grace Rayner with The Athletic. Cade touched on it a little bit, but can you just walk us through the emotional swing of these last 7 days, and now that y'all are playoff bound, just how you feel like you stack up?
Yeah, I mean, amazing. Just, again, obviously very disappointing last week, a game that you lead the entire game to 1 minute and 8 seconds. And then you go right down the field and you're in position to win it, or at least send it to overtime. And we have a mistake right there, and you felt like you let one get away, and then it's a rivalry game and all that stuff. So it's just a really, really tough time, and you think that you're probably out of it because we felt like that with a win we kind of we had a chance, a real shot to be in this thing, and then 3 hours later or whatever. I mean, I walked into the press conference last week. It was 21-0. Miami. And then I quit. Well, I didn't even watch it. I didn't even turn it back on until it was 35-28. I couldn't believe it. And so you go from that emotion, then all of a sudden that game is over, and all the players are texting me. You could just feel the energy through the messaging on my phone of like how excited they were. Like, we got this opportunity. And then, so it was a fun week of preparation, first of all, to practice in this past week when nobody else is. I mean, it was a lot of fun to prepare for this team and for this game. And then you could just feel it, like, it's just different when you're playing on this stage. And I always tell them, hey, it's what we're built for. When you play on this stage, we showed up here yesterday, you could just feel it. And I knew we were going to play our tails off, but I also knew we were going to have to probably win the turnover margin and just get enough stops because they are a really, really – they're I don't know, what are they, the 3rd or 4th scoring offense in the country? They're top 4. There you go. I mean, the guys are good. And we really, I think if we could have gotten out of our own way in the second half, I can answer the question, whoever answered it. We didn't do that. We quit doing the routine stuff well. You know, we had the two really poor decisions on the kick return. Those were both supposed to be fair catches. And then we dropped a wide open ball. We missed a touchdown call. We just all of a sudden went in this little funk where we're not doing the routine stuff. It's just the basic stuff. But we kind of worked our way out of it. And then you know, that affected our defense. And next thing you know, they're putting a few plays together, and then all of a sudden you feel kind of the anxiety of the moment. But just you got to give them a lot of credit. But it's been unbelievable. And again, Grace, to be in our seventh playoff, I mean, I think Georgia's been in 3, and I think they're the best team in the country. I don't even know who won that game. Yeah, I mean, I think they're the best team in the country till somebody proves otherwise, honestly. But I mean, it's just hard. I mean, I think Alabama, Coach Saban, I think they went to 9, and so this is our 7th one. And again, we've got the second most playoff wins. So what it means is you got a chance. And you know, you get in the tournament, anything can happen. We're a dangerous team. We've not played our best football yet, but yet we're in the playoff. I think that's frustrating, but it's also exciting because we are capable. And you know, I just wish I could get us to put this thing all together for 4 quarters, because if we do, we'll have a real shot.
Yeah, hi, Coach Adam Limmery, Herbert FM Sports Radio. Congrats on the ACC championship win. What does it mean for you to win another ACC championship, you know, at Clemson?
Yeah, I just am humbled by it. I don't ever take it for granted. I mean, I vividly remember being here in 2011. I think Virginia Tech was like number 3 in the country coming into that game, and Andre Ellington and Taj Boyd and Sammy Watkins and DeAndre Hopkins and Andre Branch and, you know, all those guys. That was such a fun time, and it was special to be a part of it. And again, we hadn't won a championship in 20 years. But, you know, so I'm just incredibly blessed and thankful. And again, I know not everybody gets the opportunity, and it never gets old, but I probably have more appreciation now than I ever have, just because, you know, I mean, there's 17 teams in your league, and, you know, it's just hard. So I'm just really thankful that we earned our way here, and we found a way to make one more play tonight to win the championship and to be ACC champions. I'm happy for our fans, but I'm really happy for the staff and for those players. It's been, you know, a lot of work since January, and to get in this environment and to be able to find a way to do it, it's not easy. So I'm just thankful to the good Lord for giving me the opportunity.
Coach, last question, back to the room, the cameras.
Oh, I get to be last. Beth Hool, Fox Carolina Sports out of Greenville. Coach, Tim Beret told us that you just passed Frank Howard for the most championships with 9. You've talked about how much this means for you, but you also talked a lot this week about those players, and every class has won a championship. Yeah. For 2 classes now to be able to join those ranks, just you talk about being happy for them, but that's a stat, that's a number that's real important to you.
Yeah, so I talked about being purpose-driven a little bit earlier. So when I got the job 16 years ago, my first staff meeting, I walked in, I said, this is what we're about. We're going to graduate our players. We're going to equip them as men. We're going to have some fun. I want them to have a good experience, and then I want them all to win a championship. And so this is walking in, and this is, again, we hadn't won 10 games in 20 years. We hadn't won a championship in 20 years. And, you know, now, okay, so 16 years later, if you're purpose-driven, shouldn't the results reflect the purpose? And so 16 years later, we have a 98% graduation rate. We have the highest graduation rate in America. And I'm really proud of that. And that's because we've kept the main thing. Equipping them as men. There's nobody in college football that has a player development program like Paul Journey. Nobody. It's unbelievable what these kids, how they're equipped as men through our Paul Journey program. It's a curriculum. You know, what they do as freshmen and sophomores and juniors and seniors. they have a great experience. I got 20-something former players on this staff that have been there, done that, gone on, done life, can't wait to come back. We had 13 former players come and spend 5 weeks in Clemson training this summer. I'm talking about Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence, Cleveland Furrow, all these guys coming back to Clemson. We're second or third, whatever, in retention, meaning fewest players leaving. That means they're having a great experience. But winning a championship is also a part of that purpose. And I just believe if you do a great job with those three things, that the winning will happen. That's what I've always believed. The problem is a lot of people compromise and they put winning first. And they compromise what's best for the long-term health of the organization or the team for maybe what's best in the moment. And I've always just stayed focused on the purpose. I've always stayed focused on what's best for the long term, whether it be for our program or for this young person's heart. What's best when he's 30, when he thinks differently, will he come and hug my neck or he turn the other way? When he's going to have a whole different perspective than what he does as an 18, 19, 20-year-old. And so, my first class was in February of 2009. We signed 12 guys. And so as of tonight, because the class of 23, Peter Woods and TJ Parker, since we didn't win last year, they were on the clock. You know, we haven't gone back-to-back years not being in this game since 13 or 14. We've been in this game every year or every other year for a long time. And so now that class of 23, they got a championship. And then the class the freshmen this year, Ashton Hampton, that crew, they got their championship, Sammy Brown. So that's what Sammy told me. He said, I'm 1 for 1 in the locker room. So I'm just, I'm happy for them. But again, that's our purpose. So 16 years of work, if you're truly purpose-driven, the results should reflect that. It shouldn't just be something that hangs on the wall or something that you talk about. So there you go. We don't just talk it, we live it. And that's what we recruit to every single day. And, I always say it's not winning, it's how you win that I think ultimately defines who you are as a person. Because at the end, when it's all said and done, I know for me, when we all get to it's just you and you. You're right. You got to be happy with you. And, man, I'm just thankful that God brought me to Clemson 22 years ago, and I'm thankful that this has been his journey for me, his plan for me. And it's just a blessing, and it's all good, even the bad. It's all good. Even such a painful, just horrible situation when this is what you do for a living and this is what these kids do that we felt in that locker room last week. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. And, hopefully we can be a good example to a lot of people out there and hopefully create hope for everybody that, a lot of times people want you to compromise. They want you to be like everybody else. But, God doesn't create you to be like everybody else. He creates you to be you. We're one of one. And, there's 6 billion people on there, however many, 7 billion. I don't know how many billion, but, we're one of one. And, so it's fun to be a part of it and never gets old, but I'm really happy for all those guys all the way back, every single one, from the Dandy Dozen to this year's freshmen. They've all won a championship. And that's, but we've done it, again, by fulfilling the purpose and that we've set out to do. Okay, thank you.
If she's getting that information from Tim Murray, we better double check it. What's that? If she's getting that information from Tim Murray, we better double check it.